Good evening, GDX4, project administrators, head coaches, JFLs, Athenium directors, sponsors, school partners, alumni, members of the trustees, fellow NHI Maxwell HQ, and of course, you, the participants, the real members of the GDX4 community. Thank you so much for being with us and staying with us these final moments, as in just a few minutes, we are going to announce the final top matchups for tomorrow. Those of you watching online, our two Athenium houses just broke down for the afternoon, and we are here to gather together so that we can actually talk and hear who are going to be our top 10 and top 12 teams advancing in the competition tomorrow. But this evening, all of the competitors got together and they formed brand new teams, cross-regional, cross-national teams, in order to take on a branding challenge, a communications challenge, trying to create a new campaign for youth, for leadership, for the work that all of us are engaged in. And already I started seeing, presentations being built, roles being assigned, and these students are now having to work through the internet across borders, time zones, states. It's exciting. So tomorrow, we're not only going to hear from the finalists in the four major events, but we are also going to hear, those of you streaming will be able to come back tomorrow and stream and see four top Athenium teams as well. These cross-regional teams, and some of them have as many as 6 students from 6 different locales. So there's a lot of excitement still here at the GDX going on. When we started off this morning, we started talking about that fundamental of have fun and be positive. And all I know is that every Zoom room that I was in today, that's what I saw. Those are the faces that I saw coming across the screen. That's the energy that I was able to hear in some of your rounds and some of your messages. And even just the way that you've been engaging more and more online has been exciting to see. And I see this community gelling and forming. And I know that the relationships that have been forging these last 2 days are going to continue on into next year at the Lorenzo de Zavala Youth Legislative Session, in 2 years at the CWS, in college as members of the Collegiate Leadership Network, a few years. Some of you will be in the Discord as TD. Some of you will be here on screen managing some of these programs digitally, in person. You are the future of this organization. And so we are just fortunate and privileged, humbled to have been here to see you all come together. Like we talked this morning, you're like molecules being put together and trying to clash to create energy. You have so many ideas, you have so much talent, you have so much knowledge and access at your fingertips. I was just on the phone with one of our education directors who's from San Antonio, who's in California right now, preparing to get started with the LDZ. There's a team up north here of where I am in the Dallas area right now, a team of staff getting ready to launch the first Texas LDZ in 2 years. And they right now, part of this global NHI community, are having very similar conversations. They're debating the issues of now and the issues of the future. They are also struggling with, should we evolve, adapt our leadership priorities? Do we need new policies? Do we need new ideas? What are the values that we need to preserve and protect? And what are some things that perhaps we need to discard? What does community equity building mean? And what does it take to produce that, to create that, to generate that? How do we look at the challenges in our community and start to see them from an asset point of view? We start to see opportunity. We start to see investment. Just like that story in the book of Ernesto in the car, who wanted to drive a car, and Chris tells it definitely better than I, because he I'm sure heard it straight from the source and heard it growing up. But Ernie wants to go on a date. He goes very just, hey, Dad, can I get the keys of the car and get $20? Dad says, no, I trust you. That's it? You just want me to give this to you? And so he's a little harsh. And so Grandma Nieto comes around, talks to Grandpa. Nieto, hey, come on, help the guy out. I mean, what is he going to do? He's a young guy. He wants to go on a date. Do something. All right. So he doesn't give him the key. He doesn't give him the $20. He says, go call your cousin. Tell him to get the truck. And that car, what do you see back there in the backyard? And he says, oh, this is a bunch of junk. Look again. This is a hunk of stuff. Look again. Well, it looks like what maybe was a car, I don't know, some broken, that is junk. All right, let's get the truck. for hours, loading up the truck, taking the car, taking out some parts. They go, they take the material, they take the junk, they flip it into profit. They cash out. Everybody gets a little piece. And then in the end, here's the car, here's your money, but not without a lesson. And the lesson was that Ernie saw junk. He saw crap. He saw a truck there that was broken down. He didn't see value. He didn't see opportunity. He didn't see the long game. That's what we see in you. We don't know what the media says, or we don't know what your school papers or what your community might say about your community, but we know what we say about our NHI community. And it's full of value. It's full of talent. That's why we bring you together, to have these clashes of ideas, these exchanges, because we need to create new narratives. We need to create equity. We need to create opportunity. We're in a whole different world in this post-COVID land that we are all starting to come out and walk the earth again, but we need new ideas and we need new strategies. And that's why you GDXers are the scholars of the future. You're writing the future right now with every word you utter, with every idea you put on a Google sheet, with every exchange through Discord or Zoom. There's new idea, new thought, new energy being created. So we cannot congratulate you enough, and we will continue to do so until we log off. Before we go further, we want to just take one more moment to thank our sponsors. There's a lot of people that there's a lot of organizations, a lot of entities, a lot of people that went into making this possible. Of course, our volunteers locally, but especially through these last 2 summers where NHI has been in a major ground of evolution, but still here doing the work. These institutions stepped up to the plate and said, we want to invest. We want to build community equity. We're down. We want a third way. We want a third way to invest. What can we do? And they put their investment forward in you. Sewanee University of the South, we cannot thank you enough, especially for the doors being open in the southeast part of the United States. St. Francis University in Pennsylvania. We've been in Pennsylvania for almost 2 decades now, and it's outstanding to have another partner in the western part of the state that'll allow us to reach out to communities in West Virginia and Ohio. St. Mary's College of Maryland, we had a 1-year delay, but we're looking forward to the East Coast LDZ being on their campus right there on the beach on the Atlantic coast, a top-notch, the National Public Honors College, St. Mary's, thank you. Berkeley, University of California, Berkeley, they're in the northern part of the state, starting to continue our conversations of different ways we can partner. They were engaged with us at the Collegiate World Series this summer. They've been a sponsor of students and making sure that students from California were able to log in and be part of this conversation, and possible projects and possible programs perhaps there in the future as well. These next 2 partners aren't universities, but they're community organizations. Phi Alpha Fraternity, a Latino fraternity with lots of history. They're an organization that decided, hey, how do we invest in the next generation? How do we become part of this conversation? And they raised this year over $12,000 in student support to help students access the NHI experiences. Especially, we know it was a tough year for a lot of families, a lot of businesses closed down or had to come to a slowdown. Phi Alpha organization was one of the organizations that said, hey, let's not let money be the reason that kids can't access NHI. Thank you, Phi Alpha. And Motivos Magazine, thank you for always helping to tell the NHI story through your magazine by engaging NHI members on your staff to tell new narratives and new stories about future leaders in our community, like the ones I see here on my Zoom screen. So thank you so much to all of our sponsors and all of our volunteers. And so with that, I think that we are ready to keep this program moving. So let me pull up here in true Zoom fashion a slideshow. What I'm going to give you is I'm going to give you a quick preview of tomorrow's schedule. You'll find this information in the Discord, but some of you watching from home, perhaps parents, this will be a great way for you to also see some updates to our schedule. So tomorrow, right at 8 a.m., this Zoom room opens up. The music is going. We have a little café con música, a little café y cultura in the morning. Always welcome to drop a song request in the chat while we kind of open up and get acclimated to the space, get our lighting right. 8:30, we always use that opportunity in case if anybody's having a tech challenge or something that we need to get you squared away on Discord, Zoom. Know that by 8:30, all of the staff is engaged, ready to do that. It's also an opportunity for you to huddle up with your team, your project administrator, your coaches, your JFLs. Do that Zoom call, that final rehearsal. At 9 a.m. sharp, as we have every morning, we'll be here live streaming on YouTube as we are right now. The opening session will have some brief announcements, some messages from some special guests, and let you also understand how we're going to work in the afternoon, especially if there are any last minute changes. But by 9:30, the Atheneum final prep is going to kick off. So Atheneum groups, House Magnolia, House Maxwell, or House Makis, as we like to sometimes call it, you'll be put into your Zoom rooms and you'll be given your final opportunity to prepare with your team. Atheneum teams, remember that every point you're earning through the Atheneum, every round, every point goes to the GDX4 championship tabulations, and they're also factored in for end of the summer global cups. So make sure that Atheneum,
we'll say
give it your all. Yes, Chris.
9:15, because immediately after we finish up with the General Assembly, we're going to move everybody over to Atheneum so that they have a little extra 15 more minutes to prep with their group. So tonight I'll make the change in the schedule. So immediately after the opening session and any announcements, then at 9:15 we'll go ahead and start the Atheneum so they can work on any final prep.
Thank you so much. And that's why it's important to log into these Zooms and keep up with the Discord, because there are always some last minute changes. So 9:15, we're going to wrap up the opening a little bit, keep it nice and tight to give you as much time as we can with your team. I encourage you tonight, get on the Discord. You'll see some voice channels that will start to get created. I know the last GDX, there were teams, took a dinner break, and they were in it to win it. They were on. So this evening, I bet you I'm going to see some teams in those pod voice channels working on the Atheneum. The Atheneum, this cross-regional, multi-layered challenge will start. Then at 11 a.m., we're going to start our elimination rounds. There'll be the Zoom information will be there. Then we'll take a break, as we always do at lunch. Students, make sure that you're eating before your rounds and immediately after your round, depending on your schedule. But you got to make sure, even though we're sitting here behind screens and we might be comfortable at home or in our office, it's important to hydrate. It's important to, have a little snack. My snack is here coffee. And so make sure that you keep that in mind and you plan in advance to have those things ready, especially if your name is about to pop up on the screen. Then our elimination rounds will continue. We are going to work this year to have, like we said, 4 final Atheneum rounds. So we are going to have 4 teams, not 2, 4 Atheneum teams competing. Then we'll have our debate finalists. So the YouTube's live stream for all live streams is youtube.com, like the folks watching us at home tonight, youtube.com/NHITV, and you will be able to watch it later on. If you're not able to miss it, if your parent's working, you'll be able to go back on YouTube and relive the experience. Then 5:15, we'll have our final debates. 5:30, right back here in the same Zoom room, we'll wrap up the program and we'll have our final awards. And there are some awards that will be given that are beyond just the event awards and beyond the overall champion. And so it is important that you're here because you may be recognized in a variety of different categories. As we mentioned earlier, and you're going to start seeing on social media, there are the global cups that are going to be announced at the end of the summer. Every point, again, is going to tabulate, and we're going to develop these international averages. The Heartland Cup, the Southwest Cup, the Northern Cup are in contention. Our World Cup are overall top averages of all of the GDXs. The Texas Cup, our Borderlands Cup for our Borderlands community. We have San Diego, Brownsville, El Paso, Laredo, all involved tonight, and our I-35 Cup. Our I-10 Cup, our Las Americas Coastal Cup, they're all in store and they're all coming your way very soon. So keep up with up. So even after the GDX4, the competition is going to continue. So we're just at that moment where we're about to post the students. If your name is on screen, congratulations. It means that you are going to be going on into the elimination rounds. We will be having in the team events of cross-examination and team trial, we will be seeing 10 teams advance tomorrow. In oratory and extemp, in the 2 individuals, we'll be seeing top 12. But before I pull this up, I just want to ask one more time, Which of the alliance logged on, which of the communities logged on right now are going to be the ones that are going to take the GDX4 and take and receive those trophies at home? I'm curious to see. I don't see too much activity. I'm starting to see a little bit of tiredness going on. Well, what are we going to see here? We need music. We need a little inspiration. Mexico coming in strong always. The heartland, that Rocky Mountain Midwest destination. Is it El Paso? Is it Panama coming back to take the title? Is it North Texas going to Corpus Christi? Who is it going to be? Is it the coast of the California New York Combos? Who is going to take it? We will find out, not tonight, but we will find out tomorrow. But what we're going to find out now, and I'm going to ask if we can pause the chat before we blow up the internet, because the energy is too much. The excitement is it's actual electricity coming in through the groups. So we are going to begin with the event of oratory. And congratulations to our oratory finalists from Panama, Saúl Rodríguez. From El Paso, Genesis Mullins. From El Paso, Edgar Valles. From the Midwest Heartland team, Margil Sanchez Carmona. From Mexico, and I'm seeing the excitement on the screens. It's great. Turn your cameras on. Sofia Avila from Mexico. Going up against Sebastian Garibay. Mónica Prieto going up against Sarah Gathers from El Paso. Ernesto Revilla going against Vania Madrigal Ibarra from the Midwest. And our final matchup, Isabel Cotin from Mexico going up against Gabriela Perez from Corpus Christi. So Corpus Christi coming in strong there as well. Saúl, Genesis, Edgar, Margil, congratulations. You will start off with a bye in the first round. So congratulations one more time to our Oratory X top 12. And next, Digital CX, our first team with a bye in the first round, the team of Sojun King and Liliana Sainz from Corpus Christi. Terry Hall and Ray Serlin from El Paso also receiving a bye in the first elimination round. Our first matchup going up, Ariel Flores and Diana Almaraz from North Texas, going head-to-head with Juliana Stich and Ida Matan Argowal from the East Coast. And I apologize for any pronunciations. You'll have to school me in the music lounge later on. Mia Palacios and Ana Paula Alba from Mexico, Matthew Bernard and Celeste Yunez Colme from the East Coast. Leslie Conriquez, Edgardo Rodriguez from the East Coast, going head-to-head against Jennifer Chung and Genevieve Cermeño, Orlando Becerril and Jose Manuel Chavez from Mexico, and Emmanuel Chueng and Rebecca Paz from Panama. Congratulations. Think we're ready for our next one. Next up, I want to see those cameras. I want to see those smiling faces of excitement. And next up is going to be the digital extemp. Haley Helms from North Texas, Jenna Muriel Midwest, Will Tian from El Paso, and Natalie Flores from El Paso, all with the first round bye. Congratulations. Hector Reyes from Mexico, going head-to-head with Giara Garza from North Texas. From Mexico again, Leslie Escartin. Well done, Mexico. At your arrival at the GDX4, going head-to-head with Edgar Diaz from the Midwest Heartland team. Ana Pao Angeles from Mexico, going head-to-head with another Mexico component, a team exchange, Nina Ponce. And our final matchup, Eliud Rodriguez from Mexico, up against Michelle Shaw from Team Panama. Let's show them some love in the Discord. Show them some love in the chat. Congrats. And now with our final event. Our first team, Alondra Garcia and F. Pedden from North Texas with a bye. Daniela Calero Gerardo Calderon from Mexico with a bye. And our first matchup, Jorge Acosta and Sofia Espinoso going head-to-head with Diego Acevedo and Juan Carlos Gonzalez. Guillermo Espinosa and Angela Lopez from Mexico going with Mia Russell and Miranda Burgos from the East Coast Midwest Combined Team. Matias Burr and Valentina Braco from Mexico. Luis Enrique Cepeda Rodriguez and Marcelo Espinosa from El Paso. And our final matchup in the top 10 in the team trial, GDX4, Andres Parra and Ivan Mercado from Mexico, and Fernando Cabrera and Kimberly Rivera Hernandez. Congratulations from the East Coast. So congratulations to all, and what a tournament it has been. And we have so much more still in store for us. We haven't even started the Athenium. We're barely getting our feet wet. The teams are barely starting to form. Elimination rounds, I encourage you tonight in the morning, use your time wisely. Any advancements you can make, review those ballots, meet with your staff, ask yourself tough questions, find a way to advance and improve. But don't forget, you're an integral member of those Athenium teams too, and they need your energy. So you have double duty tomorrow. Athenium, remember, we are going to have 2 teams that come out of the first round of competitions. We'll start some elimination rounds, and then we will reconvene, and we will then select another 2 Athenium teams. So there are more opportunities to earn points in the Athenium this year. Congratulations to all the coaches, all the JFLs. I see the excitement on your faces too, volunteers, because you've been giving your all for so long and so many months through this crazy 2 years that we spent. But Stephen, Luis, Andrew, Tracy, Katrina, everyone back home, we know that it's been a true labor of love, but it's a mission that we're after, right? We have a vision and a purpose that we're pursuing. It's so much more, and we can't let it go. So I'm going to pass it to my colleague, Chris, to help share some final remarks and perhaps bring us home today.
Yeah, well, thank you. Congratulations again to everybody for just a fantastic job. This is day 2. And if you just take a step back and see the big picture here, we have representation from Panama, Mexico, California, that coast to coast, the Midwest, New Mexico, Texas, East Coast, all up and down. This is your NHI community. And we've got people plugged in from different parts of the country as well that are assisting in tournament staff, judges, and all doing this virtually. So we're not going to let this pandemic get to us here. But I want to remind you all about Athenium. I'm going to spend the next 30 minutes building out those voice channels so that you can communicate with your team tonight in preparation. Those are available for you all. And every Athenium presentation tomorrow will be streamed live. And so we're going to open up our YouTube Live again. So continue through your participation. If you're able to be selected on part of that first group in the morning, you also have the afternoon opportunity at 1:30 to be selected, and which will be streamed live here on YouTube. Great job, Julio. A big thank you to the tournament staff, our tournament director, Sophia. I know that you won't be with us, but thank you so much for all your help in managing that Zoom debate room. Everybody, you all enjoy your evening. We'll see you bright and early. We're going to open up at 8 o'clock. We'll have our room waiting for you. And then at 9 o'clock, we're going to just make a few announcements and then dismiss you all over to Athenium to get working just in time for your presentations. So congratulations. And I want to ask here, Julio, which team will take the coveted GDX Cup? Will it be, who is it? Heartland? Heartland, Mexico looks like that they won it. Mexico is really throwing it in there. Heartland is not too far behind. So good luck to everybody, and we'll see you on your road to the finals, either in Athenium or your respective event. Congratulations to you all.